Today we'll be talking to Dan Heap from Paddy Power Betfair around how Connect is helping Paddy Power Betfair deliver its omni-channel strategy, and also how Connect us are helping Paddy Power Betfair deploy said strategy. So it's nice to meet you today, Dan.
Great to see you, Jack.
Great to see you. So maybe let's start with a few introductions, shall we, Dan? So just to let everyone know, I'm Jack Godfrey, the sales director here at Connect. And most importantly, we've got Dan Heap, the director of automation from Paddy Power Betfair. Dan, maybe you want to give us a bit of insight to your role and your involvement in the omni-channel strategy program over at Paddy Power Betfair.
Yeah, no problem. So I suppose journey started around 9 years ago when I joined Paddy Power, which at the time was a really fast growing betting company, but wasn't necessarily set up to be the giant that it is now as part of Flutter UK, and I part of the Flutter Group, which is the largest betting and entertainment business in the world. And over the last 3 years, we've really been looking at how we transform the way that we interact with customers and utilize growing capabilities in automation and the right channels to talk to customers. I suppose the business is a bit different than many others. We're not selling things that sit on shelves. Bets are real time and a once only opportunity. So getting that communication with customers and making sure we can resolve their problems quickly right is an absolutely vital part of what we're doing. So for the last 3 years, I've sort of been helping the business design and deliver that journey, and Connect and AWS have been an integral part of that.
Fantastic. Well, let's dive into some of the discussion topics that we're going to go through today. I think initially we'll be looking at your transformation project objectives. It'll be really interesting to dive into the omni-channel approach that you took to improve your customer experience and support responsible gambling as well. How you went through the process of procuring the right technology, the role of technology in your business. We'll dive a bit into responsible gambling specifically, and maybe talk a bit about the future of Paddy Power. And I'm really looking forward to getting some in-depth insight from you today, Dan. So, first and foremost, give us some insight as to why did Paddy Power set out on this program of work, and what did you set out to achieve in this omni-channel approach?
Yeah, I suppose when we started to look at this a number of years ago, we were sort of quite open to how customers contacted us. We had phone and email and chat at the time, and customers could come in anyway. And what we found from that was that it drove quite a lot of frustration in customers, and we'd find that customers were actually contacting us through all three channels because they weren't able to get the response that they wanted at the speed they wanted, particularly if they used email, and particularly if they, because we found that customers didn't really want to talk on the phone about everything. They wanted to talk on the phone about certain things, but not everything. So we looked at how we could move that problem for the customers and look to resolve it, utilizing a system where they didn't have to queue. So we drove our contacts to be digital first, so that we could have a funnel that allowed us to identify how we could resolve queries quicker. Some of the transactional queries like password resets and what's my balance and can I have a statement, those sorts of things, we wanted to do in an automated fashion. They didn't need a person to do it, but then making sure that eventually we had the right flow so that we talked to customers in the right channel at the right time about the right problem. And what that allowed us to do was drive areas of specialty so that we could focus on teams that could resolve that customer's issue, rather than having a general pool of agents who were tasked with dealing with all forms of comms on all subjects. And I think when I picked it up, I think we had 350 plus reason codes. So 350 plus reasons why customers could contact us, and the agents were expected to know all of them. It's a little bit like the 1980s supermarket of memorizing every price rather than having some automation there to help you go through with it.
Yeah. And specifically, what drew you to Connect in the way that it's so configurable to enable you to deliver that journey to your customers?
Yeah. So the reason that we looked at Connect and the AWS solution is we found a lot of technologies in the marketplace were sort of dealing with comms for today, and our strategy is constantly evolving and moving forward. So when we looked at the Connect solution, we identified a number of forward-looking pieces of technology that we felt we could utilize in our strategy of getting to talk to people in the right way at the right time and supporting our staff in the right way as well with some pretty cool ideas. Plus, our business can be quite peaky. So some people listening today will be aware of the Cheltenham Festival and the Grand National. They are 4 days, 5 days like no other. They're sort of you know, they're sort of like our busiest Saturday every hour.
Yeah.
And Saturday for sports is massive. So it's huge, and being able to cope with that in the Connect system is also a huge benefit to us. So yeah, they're the two things really: forward-looking tech and constantly evolving and able to solve the problems we're looking to solve in the future, and also the flexible nature of usage of the system. They're the two big things.
Sure. And I can only imagine how busy you are during Cheltenham and Ascot, etc., etc. And that's great insight, and that agility that the Connect platform is giving you. How is that enabling you to adapt to the ever-changing regulation in the world of gambling and gaming?
Yeah, like that's a world that we have to be right in all the time. Like there's no shortcuts in that space. There's no there's no cutting corners. You've
Yeah.
just got to be right in that space, and we learn stuff about it every day, week, month, year that allows us to move our support for people who are potentially going to experience dangers of problem gambling forward. What we don't want to do is identify an opportunity that says, actually, we can react really quickly here and utilize phone to get to speak to this person now whilst there's a potential problem. Great, we can have that in 12 months. Like that doesn't work. If we find that opportunity, we need it today. We need
Yeah.
to be driving as a business to implement it today. And that, I think that's one of the big differentiators that we saw with Connect was when we first spoke to you guys with an issue 6-8 months ago. It was, yeah, we can have that up and running in 48 hours, which is incredible when everything else was 6 months. So
Yeah.
I think that flexibility to enable us to maximize the opportunity we have is a vital aspect of the work that you guys do.
Fantastic. And in terms of the way in which you're looking to deliver this platform, you've obviously mentioned the fact that you've got the huge agile capability that sits within it. How are you looking to evolve into the future to not only support your customer journey, but also support the responsible gambling initiatives?
Yeah, so one of the big things for us is, as I mentioned earlier, trying to make sure that we are providing the customers with the best communication channel at the right time. So that may be that, some people aren't necessarily comfortable talking directly, on voice to voice with people about issues. But equally, sometimes you've got to have that conversation. So we want to make sure that we integrate the telephony solution into our digital solution so that at any point we can switch from that digital conversation into a voice conversation, and provide customers with that option straight away. Sometimes it's better for us as well. A tone of voice in a responsible gambling or a AML case can be pretty important insight for us into how that person's really feeling. So that option, that ability to be able to switch between digital and telephony in a seamless way, not we'll call you back on another system. That doesn't work. We need it to be contained within that flow, and then the ability to make sure that is recorded in the relevant case management files at the right time, not at the bottom go and find telephony, is important. So it gives our agents all the tools to be able to complete the job. It gives them the ability to talk to customers in different ways on utilizing different tools. But also, I think some of the cool technology that's coming that allows you to provide real-time support to voice agents is the stuff that sort of excites us. And I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a big piece for the future.
And just on that point, you're obviously from the world of data and analytics, right? So, how are you leveraging the data sets, the analytics, and artificial intelligence to help guide that journey?
Yeah, so we're early on that journey in some of the key areas, but the ability to be able to interpret what people are saying and make sure that we're presenting the information back to agents so that they are conscious of the questions they must ask is a huge step forward for us. Real time voice translation, awareness of intent, and presentation back of key insights to the agents is, the area we're targeting and looking forward to. And sort of that future looking technology is, again, one of the big reasons we went with Connect, that evolution to really bring that data to life real time is huge. And I think that's the evolution really. We spend a lot of time training our agents, and they do a very good job, but being able to real time evolve that conversation and understand what the customers have said and make sure that actually there's an alarm bell there, there's a phrase there, there's something we don't like, and presenting a course of action for the agents to follow, rather than call wraps up, somebody in QA listens, then we call the customer back. That might not be the right time to do it. So the ability to get that real time review on those calls is a huge opportunity, and something that we're pretty excited about getting set up and rolled out.
Fantastic, fantastic. And obviously, it's in the news that Flutter and Paddy Power Betfair has had some fantastic financial results this year. And how are you going to springboard off the back of that to leverage the platforms you have in place, such as Connect, to continually improve? And what's next?
Yeah, we have great results, but this world doesn't stand still ever. This industry moves forward at a pace unlike many others. So we'll continue to strive to look at how we assist customers in that space. Ideally, we'll look at more proactive identification of areas that may cause customers problems and look to how we resolve that, either through better comms or better outbound capabilities. But they're the sorts of areas we're going to continue to look at, where Connect can play a part, along with our other suite of tools. We're looking at a core set of tools to implement that give us those capabilities, and partner that with the innovation within the business to really get the maximum value out of them. So that's high level what we are looking to achieve over the next 2 to 3 years.
Fantastic, fantastic. And obviously, we Connect are your delivery partner. So I guess the future with us and yourselves, how are you looking to leverage us to support you in the delivery of Amazon Connect's product?
Yeah, so I go back to our first conversation, which was really telling into the way that you guys worked, which was really appealing to us because it fit with our ethos of delivering at pace. And I think what's important as we go forward is that sharing of ideas. So we'll be sharing with you guys some more detail stuff that I can't go into detail on this call, but ideas that we have for the future, and looking at how you can help us implement that. But equally, be looking for your markers on what's happening in the general world. Like what is the future of communications? What are the cutting edge businesses doing that we need to be aware of? Because at times in most businesses, I think you can get quite insular. You tend to look at your business or your industry, and all of a sudden, that's not what customers expect. Customers have had an amazing experience dealing with Amazon or Hertz or all these businesses around the world, and you're looking at how do we make our inbound telephony IVR a little bit better, because that's what your competitors do. And that's not what customers expect. Customers expect the best experience they're going to get anywhere to be the experience you provide them. So that's supporting what the world is doing is vital, because it will help, it will help energize ideas for us to move forward and get ahead of the curve and make sure that we're assessing ourselves against the best e-commerce and entertainment businesses, not just within our sector.
Fantastic, and that leads me on nicely to a bit about Us Connect. We're incredibly passionate about helping our customers and guiding them through their telecommunications and contact center journeys, and leveraging the insights we gain from the marketplace in order to support you, and also supporting Paddy Power Betfair in their responsible gambling initiatives is something we're hugely passionate about. And at Connect, we're a telecommunications systems integrator that fundamentally focuses on three core pillars: network services, contact center, where we leverage the power of Amazon Connect in order to deliver transformation programs for our customers, and then cloud unified communication technology as well. And beyond that, we have a number of customers that are global and enterprise, and namely the likes of Travis Perkins, Paddy Power, and Morrison's, who we deliver our Amazon Connect solutions for. We are hugely, hugely gracious and grateful for all the customers that we have. And we'd like to thank you for your time today. And Dan, thank you very much for your time and the insight that you provided us with.
No problem. Great to talk.
Thank you.